Yowza, yowza, yowza. Well, they got the nut jobs in France. Some people say they got those crazy Muslims, but, I know a couple of Muslims, and they're not all that nuts. It's those hardcore fundamentalist people that are the big threat. The hardcore of just about every religion, being fed the fairy tales about arks that carry two of every animal and burning bushes that talk. Every religion has those myths that they cling to. And most religions over the past 1,000 or so years have evolved so that violence is not one of the things that they're really into. Most of the folks in the Mideast are fairly illiterate, and they are only fed what the crazy imams tell them. You have to have a functioning society where people have ideas and they're allowed to discuss them. And that's not the case in the Mideast. That's why women who drive cars in Saudi Arabia are arrested and held for blasphemy against Allah. It's also the reason they're treated as property and not people, and made to dress like beekeepers. The ignorant are big fans of the Old Testament God, the one who was smiting things and blowing up cities, and the Ark of the Covenant and all that. That's kind of the way it is down south, too. They don't like to go into that New Testament too much. They like to have that law of God thing going on. If God wants me to do something, I think an omnipotent, all-powerful, supreme being would probably tell me. I don't think he would be telling me through you. Anytime you hear somebody telling you what God wants you to do, it is time to get out of Dodge, I'm telling you. Well, Salman Rushdie, he wrote a book that they deemed blasphemous against the Prophet Muhammad, and they sentenced him to death, a fatwa, as they call it, because he wrote a book. He had to go into hiding for years. He still travels with bodyguards to this day. And on the day of this tragic event in France, he wrote, "Religion, a medieval form of unreason, when combined with modern weaponry, becomes a real threat to our freedoms. The religious totalitarianism that has caused a deadly mutation in the heart of Islam, and we see those tragic consequences today." Yeah, Salman Rushdie, smart man. Just because you don't agree with me doesn't mean you get to silence me. Free speech is a basic right in a civilized society. You can say all the crazy crap you want, and I'm not going to shut you up. But by the same token, you can't shut me up because I think you're a nut job. That's the way it's supposed to roll, okay? Moving on. At what point in our education system did we stop handing out thinking caps? I mean, plus people must be keeping them in their closet. It snowed, 3 or 4 inches in January? And we had 11 bazillion accidents this morning. Why? Because the thinking caps weren't on. It's icy. I better slow down. How is that a hard concept to grasp? Everyone's driving with their lights on. Perhaps I'll move my hand 2 inches and turn mine on. I think maybe I'll slow down and not ride the ass of the vehicle in front of me. These are not alien concepts. It's not like solving a physics problem. It's driving. How hard can it be? And it's January. Why are you surprised that we had snow? Stop bitching about it. It happens every year. If it's really that oppressive and it is putting you down that much, there are plenty of places in New Mexico just begging for you to show up. What do you think? God is sending the snow just to test you and make you suffer? Then how come the rest of us have snow too? It's the seasons. They change. Get over it. Enjoy the moment. Pig out, pork out, freak out. Ranting against the winter will not change it. Put some effort into something productive, like looking around the house for that damn thinking cap. I know it was here somewhere. I declare this the weekend of searching. We must find our thinking caps. They've got to be somewhere in the house. And we got 2 days to find them, so let's get to it, for this weekend is now in session, and you've gotta closet. Maybe the hall closet. That's where I left it. Yada! Wig out!